This PowerPoint is about fluency. Readers become more fluent as they are mastering sight words and phonics skills. There are 3 components of being a fluent reader. Each will be more clearly defined on following slides. The 3 components are rate, accuracy, and prosody. Often when someone talks about fluency, they are referring to the rate or speed that someone reads. But rate is only one piece of fluency and one that needs to be approached carefully. The purpose of being a fluent reader is to comprehend what is being read. Beginning readers often can't answer questions about what they've just read because their brain is working so hard on decoding words and they are reading word by word. When assessing fluency, some schools require the teacher to time the student's reading. The students often interpret that as, I need to read fast to be a good reader. When they try to read fast, they are often inaccurate, which negatively affects their comprehension. Asking students to do your best reading may be a subtle way to offset reading fast. A second component of being a fluent reader is accuracy. As mentioned in the previous slide, reading too fast may cause errors in reading words. The general consensus is that if a student reads less than 95% of the words correctly, it impairs comprehension. Helping students to increase their rate while being accurate is key. You can assess accuracy using running records and the Qualitative Reading Inventory, the QRI. The third component of fluency is prosody. Teachers might use the phrase reading with expression. Prosody includes the pitch, tone, volume, emphasis, and rhythm when reading orally. We teach students to change their voice when they read different types of text. If a student is not comprehending a passage, they may not read inappropriate phrases or use their voice to emphasize the text. There hasn't been a lot of research on prosody, but this slide gives some guidelines for assessment. What did the National Reading Panel find when they learned research on fluency? They found that fluency instruction was not a strong component in many schools, yet fluent reading is essential for comprehension. The NRP also found that the working memory is essential for comprehension. If the student reads too fast, the working memory is overloaded and comprehension is impaired. Likewise, if they read too slowly, the brain can't find patterns or see the relationship between words and comprehension is impaired. If the student does not read words accurately, comprehension is definitely impaired. You can see that there are many factors that need to be in place for the best chance for comprehension to occur. In addition, the type of text can influence fluency. Students and teachers should understand that the rate and accuracy may be affected by reading informational versus narrative text. Informational text includes more complex syntax and more Tier 2 and Tier 3 words. When instructing for fluency, text choice is very important. When someone is directly working with a student, the text should be at the reader's instructional level. And when the student is practicing on their own or with other students, the text needs to be at their independent level. They should know most of the words so that they can concentrate on rate, accuracy, and prosody. Stanovich used a verse from the book of Matthew to describe the development of readers. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Struggling readers often do not enjoy reading, so they only read when they have to. This limits their development as readers. When a student is a good reader, they tend to read more, thus deepening their decoding skills and increasing the vocabulary, allowing them to become even better readers. Oral reading is the most common way to assess fluency. As mentioned earlier, some schools require timed readings for assessment. If you are assessing in this way, try to make it a way to celebrate their reading rather than stressing rate, which causes anxiety. If you work on fluency with students, you can expect the words per minute to increase several words per week for newer readers and even more for experienced readers. Assessing words per minute only determines the rate of reading. To assess whether they are comprehending what they are reading, you'll need to ask questions about the passage. Implications for your students. Avoid letting fluency instruction become a competition for how fast students can read. Remind them that they should read at a pace that they can understand what they're reading. They should comprehend the meaning of what they read. Just reading fast is not the goal. Be sure families also understand that if you send activities home with the students. Teachers often ask when they should begin fluency work. Emergent readers, who are typically kindergarten and first graders, need to work more on accuracy than rate. Their brain is working hard to see patterns when the students are learning to code words, and to recognize sight words is most important at this stage. Accurate reading contributes to comprehension. When students are progressing in their decoding and word recognition and they are reading connected text with reasonable accuracy, you can begin fluency work. This is often around the middle of first grade. If students are struggling with reading fluently, you'll need to do some assessments to see where the difficulty lies. It could be a low knowledge of sight words, or it could be one or more phonics skills that need reteaching and practice. There are many ways to work on fluency. The Florida Center for Reading Research site, fcrr.org, has a variety of strategies that are engaging for students and families. Activities include modeling fluent reading for students, repeated reading of passages and stories, students and adults sharing reading, choral reading where 2 or more people read a passage together. In addition, students can read along with recorded stories. They can read with a partner. Pairing a student with a reader who's a little stronger reader can help them hear how fluent reading sounds. Readers' theater is a fun activity for a guided reading group to practice and perform for the other students in their class. And finally, echo reading is effective. One person, student, teacher, or family member, reads a sentence or two, and then the student reads the same sentences. All of these strategies are also effective for English learners. Keep fluency practice fun, making sure to use text that is at the instructional or independent levels. Many ideas for fluency practice can be found on these 2 websites.